All right, I have something to show you. But before that, we all know what this is, right? It's a power bank. We've all used it to charge our mobile phones when we desperately need some battery life. But let me show you this. Come with me. This is a Tesla Powerwall 2. Effectively a power bank for your entire home. Welcome to the future is electric. All right, so what is a home battery and why would you install one? It actually works quite simply. You've got solar panels on the roof. The solar panels charge the battery and then the battery can power the home. Effectively, this means you can use electricity from the solar panels even after the sun goes down. Now, there's more to it than that, right? That shiny white box represents energy freedom. For years, we've relied on the grid as our main source of electricity. But with solar panels and a battery, that flips the other way around, and the grid actually becomes your backup supply. Now, there's other reasons why this purchase made sense, right? The biggest one of it is the economics. Home batteries are, at the sticker price, rather expensive, especially the Tesla Powerwall 2. However, there are grants to subsidize the purchase, and this year those grants doubled, which made the economics make sense. There's also the factor of electricity price, which is only set to rise in the coming years. The past few years in Malta especially, we've been living a bit of a lie when it comes to our electricity prices because they have been extremely subsidized to the tune of 1 billion euros in debt, which for a small country like Malta is pretty significant. Now, with a home battery and solar panels, you're essentially in charge of the price of your electricity and you do not need to rely on the prices coming from the grid. And for me, the last reason is something we keep hearing about, right? Carbon neutrality, net zero. These are things we hear coming from the EU, from policymakers, this target we have to reach till 2050. And we can, as citizens, look at it as the governments and the policymakers are imposing these rules on us to get us there. But effectively, this is a people problem and the people themselves have to pitch in to solve it. And an investment like that gets us to carbon neutrality and net zero a lot faster. All right, so why the Tesla Powerwall 2? There are other options available in the market. So let's understand what we have back there. So the bottom 2/3 of that compartment is dedicated to the battery cells themselves, similar to the one I'm holding here. There's around 5,400 of these making up the battery pack, which is 13.5 kilowatt hours. The top 1/3 is actually reserved for Tesla's liquid cooling system. This is the same liquid cooling technology we see in Tesla vehicles, which has now been implemented for home battery storage. Now, the Powerwall also comes with a very favorable 10-year warranty and is using NCM, nickel, cobalt, manganese cells, which at this point have been highly proven from Tesla. We've seen Teslas on the channel, right? We've seen the degradation of very old models, and generally they do a lot better than the other competitors in the industry in terms of their degradation. They degrade less, mainly because of that cooling system. Now, there are other reasons why the Powerwall 2 made sense for me. So my solar panels, which were already installed, are not that old. They're around 5 years old. Now, the solar panels have what is known as an inverter, which comes with them. That converts the DC electricity they're creating into AC, which we use in the house and feed to the grid. Now, my inverter did not have a battery outlet, essentially, which meant with another brand, I would have had to change my inverter. The Tesla Powerwall actually has the inverter built right in and included in the package, which means had I had to change the inverter, I would have also had to pay for that. And given my system is not more than 6 years old, I wouldn't have been able to apply for the grant on the inverter, effectively making a similar system more expensive for me than the Tesla Powerwall. Let me run you through a bit the system, right? So you can't miss it. This is the battery itself, the Tesla Powerwall 2. As you can see, compared to me, pretty chunky, right? I believe it's around 1.2 meters by 70 centimeters. So that is the home battery. But remember, it's storing 13.5 kilowatt hours of electricity essentially inside it. Now in my case, I have the 3 meters. Main meter, that's what's coming in my case on 3-phase. The reason I had gone for 3-phase is twofold. One, you can maximize the amount of solar panels you put on your roof. And the second one is because of the electric cars. It means I can charge them faster or I can charge more of them at one go. PV meter monitoring just the PV supply. And then in my case as well, the EV meter, which we've spoken about on the channel before. That's being used solely to charge the cars, mainly in my case at night. Underneath it is the timer box, which they're no longer actually installing. This was part of the 300 demo unit. So now it's just this one that you get installed. And controlling all of these together is this, the Tesla Gateway, which is included in the system. And that's like the brains of the operation, right? It's making sure everything is running properly, and particularly takes over when this happens. So that's the main power coming into the house going out. But as you can see, the lights did not go out. So if you don't want any more power cuts, this may be the system for you. All right, so where did I get my system from? You may know that there's no Tesla dealership here in Malta. However, Tesla have allowed third-party authorized dealers and installers to sell the Tesla Powerwall 2. Now, I got mine from the team at ISD, who were one of the first companies here in Malta to actually start installing these in homes. So I trusted on their market-leading experience to get it done, and they have done a pretty good job, as you can see. Now, does it make sense? I know that's the question you're probably asking yourself, and I cannot answer that truthfully at the moment. It's practically new, right? I am, though, going to promise to come back a few months down the line and run you through the economics of having such a system installed here in Malta, because the proof is in the pudding. Or in the Tesla Powerwall. We'll see. Anyways, guys, this is one of the first, I say, non-car videos on the channel, but the channel will be heading in this direction. I got excited about this not merely because of the cars, but because of this change that's coming to the world as we know it. And I strongly believe that there's a better solution. Every single building in the world will end up having a battery storage solution similar to or the Tesla Powerwall itself. But as always, I hope I've convinced you that the future is electric.